What's going on, Warriors? Thank you for tuning in. We are here, No Frillz, episode 3. The Road Dogs in the building. Chris Matrix, People's Commentator, with my boy.
I see Yipes, a.k.a. Michael Mendoza, a.k.a. whatever the hell you want to call me under the sun. We out here, relaxed, chilling. It's just another exciting adventure, the No Frillz Podcast. And, of course, we got a special guest here for people that don't know who he is, because we know, because we seen him in the bodegas with the cats.
I remember you guys. You guys were from Chinatown Fair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, really showing your age out there. Jeron, the Dawgs, Grayson, Hiro, what's going on, baby? Welcome.
Thank you very much.
God damn it, welcome.
Get closer to the mic, baby. We want to make sure Jeff don't got no headaches, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you let the people hear you.
We throwing out here. Shout out to J.I. and no laugh. Ricky Ricardo, yeah. All right. Anyway, so obviously, you know, we usually just shoot this shit here, but always we're going to talk on some certain topics. Of course, we got Jeron the Don here to talk about, you know, some of the past times in the old FGC and, you know, what compares to the new, literally from the communities to the gameplay. So we're here. This man is pretty much the museum of national history, basically. National.
You know, let's use the Akashic records. Like, the Akashic records are the records from the ancient past.
So you mean to tell me you got
I'm telling the story of
that's the Akashic records right there.
From the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
So issue. Well, maybe not from the very beginning, but from pretty close.
So you mean to tell me you got all the ancient scrolls, is what you're saying?
I have some of them. I have most of them.
Most of them.
That's the good book right there.
That's the good book. All right.
Yo, right here, that's the book of Eli for fighting games, boy.
That is. But he can see, though. That's the difference. But yeah, man. So talk to me, man. Let the floor is yours. Tell them who you are. Tell them what you've been doing.
My name is Hiro. I started out arcades way back in the day from Street Fighter 2. So this goes all the way to Street Fighter 2.
Tell them where you from. Tell them where you from.
I'm from the Bronx. So I started out playing arcades. Actually, I started playing competitively Street Fighter 2 in Washington Heights. Then I moved from the Bronx, started playing in the Bronx, and went to arcade there. And it was in 1998 where I started to like really play like competitively, like go to different arcades. 95 is where I met Sanford. I met him in an arcade, video shop arcade through Children of the Atom, X-Men Children of the Atom.
Okay, vintage.
And fast forward 4 or 5 years later, I came to Chinatown Fair, started competing in Chinatown Fair over time, but it wasn't until about 2000, 2001 when I first started meeting the whole Chinatown Fair heads. Eddie Lee, Arturo Sanchez, Justin Wong. You guys came along a little bit later, a couple of years later.
Yeah, I came 03.
And Henry Sen, obviously, and others. And yeah, just shout out from there. Chinatown Fair was great, man. Really cool. Really cool people, obviously. Learned a lot from them, obviously. And we traveled. And when we traveled, we represented. It wasn't just for ourselves. You know, when you play fighting games, you play for yourself, obviously. But when you have something to fight for, like how it was back in the day with the East Coast versus West Coast wars. East Coast versus Canada wars. So we were fighting. When we traveled, we know we were representing New York, East Coast. That's what it was about. It was always cool. And it was a pleasure, you know, traveling, competing with those guys.
You know what's so fire, though? So obviously, look, so I've always been in the arcade scene in terms of a Dykeman, Washington Heights kind of flavor, but when I really got exposed to Chinatown Fair was late 2003, like December, I remember. First time I went there, 2003, 2004. And I remember one of the first guys I seen whooping ass was you in the arcade machines. I remember there was long lines, and you was the guy that was smoking people. You know what I'm saying?
So it was me and Sanford and CVS 1. We got 30-something wins the first day, and then we came back and got another 20-something. So we took turns playing characters. Yeah. So then that's when, you know, they sent Eddie Lee over. They sent Eddie Lee over a few times, and they sent Justin over like 1 or 2 times.
Okay.
And then I guess that's how we got known, you know, through that.
Yeah.
You know, people like, you know, who are these guys? They're beating everyone. And yeah, we just went off from there. We were strong at that point. That weekend we came off with a good win. Then from there, that's when it like started, I guess, the establishment of me going into the tournament scene, going into the competitive scene. You know,
okay. So now, well, first of all, I call you when you and Sanford start playing games, man. I call it the JK Wars.
JK Wars.
I mean, y'all seen it plenty of times.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it plenty of times. Y'all be going at it,
Late nights till the sun come up, bro.
I'm talking about multiple games. Y'all are going at it. Now, obviously, you two are like one of the best like fighting gamers that I've seen play. When did you realize that you were as good as you were to compete against some of the best players in the world? Because beating up on like the local yokers, that's not enough to tell you like I'm nice. I'm like, when did you realize that you could actually go toe to toe with people?
When I beat my first top player.
And
so
who was that?
then you had to earn your respect back then. You don't when you come into the scene, you have to beat that top player to get respect and to get recognition.
Who was that? You remember who that was?
Yourself. Oh man, it was probably, I think.
Was it someone known?
It was a CBS one.
Okay. I got
Maybe
you.
James Page. A lot of
But
guys.
it was a killer.
CBS
Nonetheless,
yes,
it was a killer. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. And I beat that top player. I started winning from there. Started going from CBS, ST to Alpha, etc. And I always consider myself well-rounded as a Street Fighter player.
Right.
So yeah, I started going on from there, fighting games in general.
So let's go to Street Fighter 2, the first one.
Yes.
Who's your main, and what's your drive? What's your motivation behind your character selection?
So Street Fighter 2, first off, I consider myself the Grand Master Street Fighter.
Oh,
what that means?
scrolls.
All right, that's basically a fancy way of saying that I'm a specialist in Street Fighter overall.
Man, talk that shit, man.
Yeah,
You're the
this
Grandmaster.
is the book
I
of
don't
hero
wanna-
right
Man,
here.
talk that
This
shit,
the
man.
book of hero right here.
Facts.
I don't even
Talk.
like putting myself up, but that's what it is. I feel like I'm the strongest Street Fighter, one of, if not the strongest Street Fighter player in the world. So I pride myself on being strong overall. So in Street Fighter 2, I just started out playing, whatever characters I liked.
Right.
And then competitively, I started playing ST competitively and Alpha 3 and all that. And then, I just started progressing from there. CVS 1 and
So you telling me you played a
Street Fighter 4
cast?
eventually. Yeah, I played the cast overall.
Okay.
And all this, I think there are 37 Street Fighter games in all. I played probably 34 of them. And yeah, I play a wide variety of characters. There's a lot of characters I like. Street Fighter is so cool, man.
Yeah.
That's including, that's not a versus series that has SNK in it, Tekken, like, Street Fighter Tekken.
Right, yeah.
And, so forth, yeah.
So what's your
EX.
what do you consider yourself like? What archetype of player are you?
So, like this style, like some, but people want to talk about style. That's a very interesting question and topic because
Talk to them, let them hear.
particularly, I don't consider myself having a play style per se. People have said I have this place. Let's say, oh, Jeron, you're so lame, or Jeron, you're so, you're really patient. You're a lame player, right?
Okay,
And,
so
before that used to get to me.
One sec. Just in case some people don't know, tell them what lame actually means.
So
in
lame is
fighting
if you're
games.
really defensive and you
Okay.
kind of let your opponent hang yourself. So
Okay.
that's my style. Like back then, I've made it more diverse now, but my style back then was to let people hang themselves.
Right,
it's
right.
like
I already know.
And it was all about the mind games. I'm always about getting in people's head. If I could get people really frustrated, then I want to use that to my advantage. So that was my overall meta. It wasn't until Eddie Lee told me that I asked him one day after CF, because the common thing in CF, we play, we get there, we play, we go to dinner,
Yeah,
talk
man.
about, we go to dinner, come back. So one day I asked Eddie, I said, so what's my problem in Street Fighter? What's my problem?
So at this time, Eddie Lee was a roadblock for you.
Eddie Lee was like the person. He was the representative of East Coast at the time.
But I'm saying,
So
okay.
just
Wait,
he was
the guy to
he
beat.
did get, I did have trouble. I had difficulty beating Eddie.
Okay.
So I
Shout
asked
out to
him,
Eddie Lee.
The legend.
and he told me, sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off. So one day I took that from what he said from that day, and I took a grander understanding of it. Like took it up a notch. Like what I had to, and did what I had to do. But generally, we talk about play styles. I don't particularly think I have a play style, but I just like to be, because I think there's a weakness in one over the others. So I just try to be as diverse as possible. But for the most part, I do play off of the mind game aspect. I do want my opponent to hang themselves. I do want to have the advantage that way.
Okay.
Time is essential, and I feel like time is on my side. If time is on my side, I have the advantage. And I'm
Oh
gonna
yes.
win.
Oh yes.
I would know.
I know from experience. Yeah, we both know from experience.
I would know.
Hey, Jeron Grayson. That boy knows how to work the clock.
That man,
Shannon.
Jeron Grayson, is Father
That's
Time
good.
incarnate.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Jeron has the play style back in the day in the bodegas that would cause fights.
Yo, real shit. Yo, let me ask you
They
something,
go
Jeron.
fights,
Look.
yeah, they
so
wanna
back,
fight you.
So back in the day, obviously, we always had, in the hoods, the no throw rule,
Right.
right?
You couldn't throw. No.
How many times was you that
Oh,
guy?
no,
Or you
I
played
got,
with honor, or you was scooping people?
No, like in the hoods, generally, like, you play with your friends and different people. They would really want to, like, get something over you for throwing them. I didn't particularly have that, like, issue too much. But I know one time that I was playing and, guys got really pissed off. So it was like, so you know, is what it is. You're gonna go get in a fight over it, or you know, something's gonna go down. You know, from this, you know, like people have different stories.
Because back in the days, I know you couldn't break throws until ST, right? Technically, or
well, you could break throws in Super Turbo, yeah.
Yeah, that ST, that was the first one you could start breaking throws, yeah. And even so, you still lose life.
Right. So
that's cheese.
One thing that I love to do.
That's why there was fights.
Yeah.
One thing that I love to do is study the mentality of players. That's my absolute favorite thing, as you know, Yipes. As you know, Chris. I love to study players and their mentality. That's why I want like different points. I'm always grinding. It's not just on like online, offline. Like I just want to play different types of players because I really want to understand that mentality. The mentality shift has changed from back then. I'd say like the 90s, 2000s up until now. At the point where we are now.
Shoot, in what way, please?
So you know, there's just all many different types. A lot of people have the ideology that everything's based off tournaments. I'm not saying that you can't base things off of tournaments. You have to look at that. The tournament aspect is a perimeter because something's on the line for one, and you know you're bringing out your best. That's when people perform at their best in the tournament. I'll call the new school players or people that are past the Street Fighter 4 era. I call them the new age. The problem with the new age.
So you still consider Street Fighter 4 part of the old age? Because Street Fighter 4 dropped in.
It's like the mid.
Okay, because that dropped in 09, correct?
So yeah, 09ers are officially 10 years old in Street Fighter 4. Happy birthday to the 09ers. You know what? And at the end of the day, I really say that not even a joke around because we need the new faces to actually grow the FGC. So I appreciate you guys actually sticking around and playing these games as is right now. Because without y'all, we actually wouldn't be growing the scene as is. So
yeah, that's one thing.
It is what it is.
I absolutely love about the FGC. The one thing that attracted me to it is the people, the diversity of people. They're accepting. The FGC is loving. They're accepting. And that's just something that's great to be a part of. You know, like help us grow, expand, make friends. You know, like all like the positivity. The mentality-wise, though, what's changed is people want to base everything off the tournament. I feel like you have to add the other parameters, like long set play, when you're determining matchups, whether you're determining tiers and stuff. That's very important. They overlook that. Also, since things are handed to players these days, as you know, the execution curve is dropped. So it's not. These games are not execution heavy. Anyone could pretty much be execution specialist because of the way the games are. Right. Which separated me. One thing that separated me in Street Fighter 4 was with Bison, I would do throw, empty head press into double knee press. If they do delay wake up, I'd do Psycho Crusher. I was the only Bison that did other than Happy Medicine.
And what game was this one?
Street Fighter 4.
Okay.
There's also something I would do with Frame Trap that no other Bison players do. Like, there are things that can make me stand out. However, in Street Fighter 5, I feel like I cannot stand out. I cannot express myself to be an individual, which is not a problem. Like, these games are the way they are. I'm not complaining about them. You know where I come from. I come from Street Fighter 2.
Stating the differences.
Yeah, no, it's a fact, though.
Street Fighter 2, you get stunned with two moves, you get stunned, and then they do a combo, then that's it. So the meta is actually, from Street Fighter 2, is carried over to Street Fighter 5. People have overlooked that.
This is
true.
So
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the gap in terms of you being a unique player, that's changed. Like, you can't really be unique. I can't say I was able to do this. No other player can do what I do, but now everybody can do what they do. So it's just really just situational things where people are.
And you know what? And just to touch up on that, just to piggyback on that a little bit. Prime example, Gamer B, Bruce. Street Fighter 4, he was that guy that played Adon, and you know that he played Adon a certain way. And he bring a lot to the table with the characters. This is around the time when everybody thought the character was whack. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then he really bring it out on the table. He exploded, and he just kept getting consistent, and he was just becoming more of a household name.
Right.
Now, Street Fighter 5 kind of deterred from his uniqueness. You know what I'm saying? He went to Nikali Kami. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never would see that from a character, from a guy like him, you know what I mean? Sure, it could fit your style, but it definitely doesn't really bring you out. Like, the one thing I do see about Street Fighter that brings a lot of people out from other players is, like, certain confirms, the way they react to anti-airs. Because, a lot of people don't react to anti-airs like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like, little things like that will bring it up, but I definitely do get what you're saying. It's not as diverse as it was back in the day.
I had a conversation with Mike some time ago. We were talking about, like, characters. If a character is super strong, but only a few people can play that character, he doesn't consider that character top tier or, like, super strong.
Who said that?
So, I was talking with Infinite. We had a conversation.
Mike Williams. Okay, shout out to Mom.
We were home one time, and we were talking about it. So, like, obviously some people agree, some people don't. Like, what I disagree about that is that if 3 people play MSP, the person that's opinion is validated the most is you, because you're the strongest with that team.
Okay.
Not that I'm not taking the other opinions into consideration, but that's and that's what I'm talking about. It could be 10 strong Bison players, but you got to take like 3 or 4 to get, if you're trying to like understand matchup scores, right? Or matchup charts. So my thing is matchup charts. I love the matchup charts.
Right.
I love looking at those things. I love doing them in retrospect. So you got to get the opinions of the strongest. You can't get the mid-tier or the upper mid-tier opinions. It's going to fluctuate. If you do that, you're not going to get a like bigger picture. You're not going to have a bigger understanding of what it is. So if you're going to have a matchup chart, get 4 players, 4 of the top players with their character or team, and then you average out the scores. The scores are going to be different.
I got you. Yeah.
Everyone's individuals. Everyone has different mentalities, approaches, etc. So you use that, and you get the perimeter. I think more people should use that formula overall. Like these days, that's one thing I'm saying.
That's good.
I think that would be cool.
Now, my question is this, and that's a very valid point. So, do you think it's possible for a high caliber character specialist to have trouble with a matchup that maybe a mid-tier character specialist is very good at?
And just to add to that, and this is obviously for the people that's actually taking it serious.
Yeah.
To learn on a competitive level, right? Because obviously on a casual level, you could just use anybody's references to understand the game.
I'm talking about people that compete.
That compete, right?
So hypothetically speaking, I'm not saying that these numbers are correct. Let's just say a top level Bison player has been having trouble with a Blanca. I'm not saying I don't know what the match is.
Right. Okay.
So if that person having trouble with the Blanca, but then let's say like there's a Bison player that's not as good as that one. Fairly decent, competes, does really good in a matchup. You know what I mean? Like, do you still validate the top player's opinion more than his, because obviously he's doing something that this guy's not doing? Depending
on if you're an analyst, if you're extremely analytical like I am, and you're able to judge assessment and skill, then you're able to predict the outcome. You're able to have an answer for that. So if the Bison player is optimal, if I always look at what the person can do optimal, what the characters I play with. I'm just talking about the characters I play. So if I look at what they do, if they're optimal, if they're not doing certain things, I'll look at that.
Okay.
And then, so like the Blanca thing, if they beat the Blanca, if they lose to the Blanca, then I beat the Blanca, then it's something they're not doing in the matchup, because the matchup, let's just use Street Fighter 4 as a reference, it's 5-5. Or in Bison's favor, 6-4. So that means they would do something wrong. They're not optimal. It usually shows in their gameplay. 2 out of 3, it's hard to determine that in 2 out of 3s, because anyone can win a 2 out of 3.
Yeah, So like in my opinion, like you can somebody can play really good in a 2 out of 3. You know what I mean? Like they have a good day, or you can just not be on your game that particular set. You know what I mean? Like nobody plays good all the time. You know what I mean? Like you can play 2 games bad, but you can play 8 games good. You know what I mean? So, that holds bearing, but like it's hard to really judge if someone knows a matchup if you don't get to see it consistently enough. Which is so this is like I want to talk about as far as like in your past. Like you spoke about people not just gauging tournaments and like gauging everything, set play and everything like that. So now with you personally, when you were coming up, did you realize that your experience from playing sets was able to translate into competing in a small set 2 out of 3 tournament setting?
Oh, I can answer that actually for me as a competitor. But go ahead, Jeron.
Not all the time, and it depends on how much I'm playing that matchup and how much I'm playing masters of that character.
Okay.
To apply it to a tournament level.
Okay.
Just real quick before you go off, Yipes. One thing I realized is something's going on, and the guy's not taking liberties with me. I think he's really cool, and all the best to him, Rob FGC.
Okay.
When I played him at NEC in 2017, I said, okay, a couple more matches I can make it top 16. So we play, and he teabags me. I have this thing about with like new age players, the new agers, like I told you I call them, and stuff get into their head. It's a Street Fighter 5, so there's nothing I can't prove to people how good I am through Street Fighter 5. You can't tell. You just can't. The game is too, it's very linear in terms of diversity and able to make assessments like that. So,
okay,
when him doing that.
So it's hard to pick out details in a person's game that makes them, like little things that they might do that'll make them better than certain, because like the meta's pretty much hashed out with characters, because the characters are I guess limited in the difficulty of the things that they can do.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of,
it's pretty straightforward and easy.
I mean, it's kind of, not to cut you off, man. It's kind of hard to judge that as well, because the top players make it even harder, because there's people that just stay so consistent that it's pretty hard to judge that. And I mean, to gauge that.
That's
so,
true.
for example, Taquito, always consistent. He'll get top 8. You know what I'm saying? He'll win from time to time.
Yeah.
Obviously, he'll take his little slump in the tournaments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, he still shows that he's consistent. Okay, if he has one bad day, sure, but he's always consistent, so it's hard to judge. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then just to touch up on you were saying with playing those long sets and then going into a tournament and playing that matchup, like does it carry over like strongly? Yes, it does. So for example, Street Fighter 4, every time I fought a Sagat, I smoked every Sagat.
Right.
Because it's saying for Kelly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I smoked every Bison because of Jeron Grayson. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the arc was full of Bisons.
But
Sanford used to smoke the
But you get what I'm
Bisons,
saying? Yeah. Like, I've seen the matchup enough times to know, like, in 2 games, I'm comfortable to get the job done.
Okay.
Because I have that much resources, have that much information to be like, okay, I already know what needs to be done. At the end of the day, my biggest enemy is me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
At that point, the only person that could beat me is me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
So it is what it is. So, I mean, it's subjective as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It all depends.
And that's part of mastery of yourself. You say you handle it's not an external thing. If I get mad at something particular, it's not an external thing. It's something that's within. I gotta handle that within.
Exactly.
It's like you brought up. If I lose to an Evil Ryu or Abo at the time, or like Cali or Urian, I consider that a disgrace to Michael, to Yipes. Because at the time, we played so much, and I was so determined and so focused on my play, especially in those matchups, that I cannot lose to another Urian. I cannot lose to another Evil.
And that's a testament because basically that's stating that Yipes used those characters on a high level.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's a testament to how good he is with those characters. So, I mean, I'm gonna throw it out there. Yipes is, in my opinion, Yipes was a Grandmaster Able. Probably I don't know about Bison necessarily, but definitely Yipes has definitely the best Able I've seen. There is some people that might do different stuff, and I guess he didn't.
Well, at that time when I was playing, at that time,
and that's no bias, like that's my role though. But I call it how it is. So like, if you're losing to another Able, and most likely they ain't using a character like Yipes is, not in the U.S. at least. No, and that's no disrespect to anybody that was using Able at the time, because shout out to Gustavo. You know what I mean?
The best Able.
Yeah.
The best Able. Gustavo, shit.
Yeah. So,
strong,
Holla. What's going on, baby?
that's a testament to how good he was with the character. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying, and along those means, like, you shouldn't be losing to anyone lesser with the character because you've had that training with a high level specialist like Yipes. Now,
man, that's cool. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, Chris.
Yeah.
You're gonna continue, but man, you kind of kicked off the dust on the commentator side because that's all I've been doing. So it's pretty good. Y'all gave me those words of love.
Yeah, baby, come listen.
They went like this to me. They went.
Yeah, sometimes the people forget. You know what I mean? The people forget sometimes.
No, it's love. Look, at the end of the day, man, no matter how I'm seen in FGC, whether it's a competitor or commentator, as long as I'm helping with growing the scene in a positive and more energetic vibe, then that's fine with me. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people hold this ego, this strength about the past and whatever the case is. I'm not about that shit, man. Right. I did what I did. I cemented my shit in history. That's it. Let's move forward. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. So Jeron, now let's talk some of the older games, like Super Turbo, the Alpha series. I know. What skill sets are needed to be good in those games? Like specifically
execution, reactions.
Very important. Yes.
Footsies. Now, tell the people what footsies are.
So if you can, might not know. Basically, if you can get your opponent to a point where they have to jump to you, or they get back to a corner and they throw out a whiff a button and you punish them, that's you having strong footsies.
Okay.
And they stay on the ground, you're walking them down, you're walking within their range. If they whiff an attack and you punish them, sweep or whatever, you have really strong footsies.
Okay.
Or they're lacking in footsies.
So
your
footsies
are superior to theirs.
Landing physical attacks when they're like when you're in a neutral situation when they're trying to hit you, you're making them think that they're in range to hit you, and you're taking that away from them. You're punishing them for trying to hit you.
Right, and I learned that hard time from Ricky and Justin. Because I used to travel and go to tournaments.
Footsie guards.
And I learned really heavy footsie work from them.
Yo, the way he said it, yo, you look like... Yo, it sounded like you got hit with some shit, like, many times. Yo, because you know what's crazy? Justin will deck you with, like, one button.
Yeah, all day.
The whole match.
He's a sweet monster.
And you like, damn, why am I getting decked like this?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, am I really doing something wrong? Yo, Justin, Ricky, no, for sure. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. You know, so I'm looking there, so I noticed that they would walk me to the corner a lot. So I was like, they're not showing fear. They're confident. Yeah. I said, holy shit, I have to get this so I can be a mastery within myself. So I started like getting really strong and developing the footsies and focus on the ground game. And yeah, it's been like.
So how do you practice footsie? Is that something you can do in training mode, or is that something you have to do from playing people?
You have to play people.
You have to play.
Okay,
yeah.
so you have to play people.
Definitely. You have to get into the head, understand how.
All right, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna progress, and I'm gonna bring up stuff.
I'm kind of glad that you threw some of those layers when explaining footsies, because a lot of people just think that it's just whiff punishing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When it has to do with mind games, when it has to do with playing in those ranges, making up force in those situations when you have a lead to come to your ranges to try to reach and get something going, and you punish them. You know what I'm saying? The jump ins, I agree. You know what I mean? Get people impatient. But, you know, one thing that I've seen about footsies and just neutral in general is I feel like the most dominant player is the person that can actually walk you down easier than the other. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of factors in it, too. Of course, good pokes, ranges, walk speed, stuff like that. But you can really tell when somebody's strong. For example, bro, I played Punk the other day. Kage versus Karen, that was not a good look, bro. Difficult, yeah. I like how he's using the price. Like, yeah, he said difficult. Yeah, bro. Listen, it was 25 to 5. He smoked me, bro. But I can see why I got smoked. Obviously, he's a better player, but I can acknowledge the fact of why I was losing.
Right.
I was like, damn, this man is walking me down. Damn, he's whiff punishing my shit. I'm losing, man. Like, he's optimal. You know what I'm saying? Like. It's a lot of factors.
Some of the things I learned, or like going back to the East Coast versus West Coast things, you know, when you would travel, you see, obviously at the time it was Eddie Lee versus John Choi.
Okay, classic
see that,
vintage.
That was classic East Coast versus West Coast.
Shout out to Choi.
So I noticed that my guard would always be blinking. Like they're attacking me, Choi and Valle and, you know, Watson, they're like attacking me constantly. My guard is blinking. And I said, oh man, like I really put that into retrospect, you know. So I had
you
to
was getting your
that.
shit rushed down.
So that's why I said, I was getting rushed down.
He said, yo,
so
he said, my guard is constantly blinking.
Constantly
you
blinking.
getting this shit mauled.
You know, they call that style the Eagle style.
The Eagle style?
Yeah. I don't know if it's because I guess the Eagle's aggressive when they get their food. I don't know. I don't know the gist of it because they was talking about it. Somebody made an article about styles. Of course, the West Coast. And they used John Choi as the example that he is the Eagle style, and then of course over here Turtle styles. Turtle play defensive.
I got you.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's pretty
Makes
cool.
sense.
We're gonna touch up on that in one of the episodes, man. I'm actually look up on that, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we got footsies, reactions, execution, right? And and then another big part of it is going to be experiences. Like I said, like you said, to practice footsie, you have to play people.
Yeah, right? H2O, my brother, my fool.
Absolutely. So you have to play people. Now, once you have those skills, and then I'm sure they translated. Once you have those, they translated into the different games and. You know, all those skills, they get stacked on. So you develop those skills from ST, right? Let's just say ST. You know what I mean? Now, once we get to a game like, let's say, I don't want to say Street Fighter 3 yet because the being able to parry like definitely changed some factors of traditional Street Fighter. So like let's say like Alpha 3. So being that you have those skills already. Let's say somebody fresh came in and started playing Alpha 3. What type of advantage are you going to have over that player? Even though you're both starting the new game at the same time, but because you had these skills from ST to Alpha 1 to Alpha 2, now to Alpha 3. is that going to give you a distinct advantage over that person?
It's going to carry over.
It is going to carry over.
The problem with Street Fighter V is that it doesn't matter.
I don't want you to say that. I'm going to get there.
Okay.
I'm going to get there.
Okay.
I'm going to get there. I got you. Okay, so it's going to carry over because you have experience and you have these attributes about your gameplay already that you've developed and honed, which I think is a good thing because I think if you put in work, I think the skills you obtain should translate over to the next game.
I mean, all right, it's subjective in a sense that I think it all depends on what game you was training in on the way up.
That's true.
So, for example, so the game Street Fighter V is very rushdown heavy, right? Big damage. I'm used to that from playing Marvel 2. So, I mean, it's a little different because obviously you had helpers in Marvel 2. You could tame some of that.
But SC was big damage too, like you said.
That's true. Well, I wasn't around. I wasn't that dusty. That's why we talking to the man here.
Oh, yeah.
From Children of
the Atom. I mean, I went that far, but mind you, that was around the age where I didn't really comprehend it at a top level. I was just flat. Everything was just freaking eye candy. Like, man, the combos. Look at my man Wolverine slashing everything in sight. You know what I mean? I'm looking at that, not on a competitive end. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So obviously, down the line, as you age, that's when you really see it on a different light. But you get what I'm saying, though. But I'm sorry, continue.
Absolutely. So, like, moving forward. So now, let's get to Street Fighter 4, excuse me. Street Fighter 4. From my personal experience, I didn't play the game super competitively, but just from the talk and the lore, a lot of classic Street Fighter players weren't too fond of the game at first because of the whole FADC system, because you can make certain things safe.
I think it was the focus attack, dude. That did
a lot
of
it's separate game mechanics.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't like the idea of, like, okay, I can outthrow the YOLO DP and make it safe.
Well, that's what, yeah.
I can, you know, like, and then with the whole Ultra thing, with the whole comeback factor. Right. So now, how does that affect a person like you who's played vintage Street Fighters, who's used to not having those type of mechanics in place to help certain situations, to now having to put people in the same situations that you used to put them in, but now they have options to make comebacks on you? So tell me about that from your first experiences going to Street Fighter 4. Well,
if I could take something from older Street Fighter games, or past Street Fighter games, and I can always apply it to the newer ones, up until 4. Up until 4, just at 5. And it all comes back. You know, it's basically a test of what you've learned from the past, how strong your footsies are, how patient you are, how disciplined you are, like not jumping at an opponent, or, you know, really, you know, staying grounded in your game, how confident you are in your game overall. That's carried over from those games to Street Fighter 4. And I was able to utilize it. I became one of, if not the strongest Bison at that time in Ultra Street Fighter 4. And, you know, I showed it, obviously, by getting top 7 in that final round.
Yeah, final round. Really, yeah, man. Just to touch up on that, bro. That was a great show. That really did show. That was a testament to all your training, dude.
Really, yeah,
it really was. I'm like, look at Jeron. I'm like, look at all that grinding, and he really paid off.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know Jeron grinds online.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Jeron is a grinder. So I'm glad that like you said, yes, I'm glad that could reflect. But continue.
Well, yeah, that was primarily it. If you're able to also understanding how the mentals changed from different players. A lot of players, they we're not gonna talk about now. We're talking up to Street Fighter 4. They weren't seasoned in Street Fighter games in general, so I had a slight advantage in that. But then they started adapting like people normally do. They were some great players in Street Fighter 4. They were strong. They adapted really fast. They were specialists.
There was a little consensus. They were good Street Fighter players. They were good Street Fighter 4 players. Now I know you consider yourself a Grandmaster Street Fighter player. You know what I mean? Like, so how does a Grandmaster Street Fighter player showcase him having an advantage over a good Street Fighter 4 player?
I like that.
Patience.
The hard questions.
It comes down to knowing little situations where you don't overextend. That's very key. If you overextend and even make one mistake in the matchup against certain players, that's going to be it.
Okay.
You know, you can throw the game that way.
Right.
Or you can either throw the round or the game. So that's very important.
So let me throw something in there though. So like, just to touch up on what you were saying. So I was that guy because I wasn't a Street Fighter player. I played Street Fighter, but I wasn't a Street Fighter player. Street Fighter 4. I mean, I played Third Strike. Sure, don't get me wrong. I played Yun, Ken. You know, Yun. Get the rush down. Don't stay on your ass. You know what I mean? I was just always an explosive player. But then going to Street Fighter 4, playing Abel, of course. You know. Definitely.
talk about it. Talk about it.
Definitely made me feel like I was taking it to the best. You know what I'm saying?
What about Abel is that? Talk about it, baby.
I mean, look, I was putting people in a spin cycle. It was pretty unfair. You know, this was before the delay wake up. You know what I mean? This is super Abel, by the way.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
you know,
I know well.
And obviously, this is around the era when I was very, very, very confident in my play. Obviously, we was in the same team, so I always was, you know, with that mentality. You know, I want my team to be the strongest.
Yeah.
So I gotta pull my weight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I knew I was getting good with Abel because the whole arc was getting salty except Jeron.
Right.
Everybody,
I can attest to that is 100% fact.
Because Jeron was the guy that was like, he was dealing with it. Yeah, he was dealing with it. I know there'll be some bullshit. That was robberies. You know what I mean? I robbed you, but you took the jab to the chin. You was like, yo, I'm gonna go in the lab, I'm gonna come back. Yo, he came hard. It was pause. It was harder for the man. It was harder for me to even freaking beat him.
Yo, not for nothing. Yo, Cass was getting draped up.
Shit was funny. And you know why? Because I knew the essence of Street Fighter. I knew it. And I wasn't playing it. I definitely wasn't playing the essence of Street Fighter, bro. And then you know what? I started thinking about it because you sort of like, yeah,
kick.
somebody with something, and then that'd be the end of the game. And I just started thinking about it, like, yeah. Yeah, that was me. I was that guy. That's all I was doing to people. That's real shit, man. If you want to use a prime example of that, what you was just talking about, I'm definitely your man. The only characters that I was understanding it on a Street Fighter level was like, all right, it was Bison and it was Evil Ryu. Even though Evil Ryu was a little BS too, you know what I'm saying? Took a lot of damage. But the fact of landing the hits, opening them up, because I didn't have a command throw no more. You know what I'm saying? So now I actually had to learn to open somebody up, frame trap, stuff like that. Right. So that's when I was like, okay, now I'm actually learning the game of Street Fighter. Even though I knew what it was, but that's just not the game I was playing. Yeah. Because I was just putting a boot in your ass, and that's it. I make you guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Abel was not a traditional Street Fighter character.
He wasn't. And I could keep it a buck. So I played Abel. I ain't played Street Fighter.
Right.
You know what I mean? I knew the basics.
I got you.
I mean, somebody jumps you anti-air. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, of course.
I got you. Now, what I think is important about that, I'll use Justin Wong for an example because he's also another classic Street Fighter player. What I do think that Justin did well, being that Justin came from classic Street Fighter, he had these skills that you mentioned earlier, and see, the thing is, when you come into the new games with different mechanics, you can't come in there with your glass full. You know what I mean?
That's balls.
Somebody coming into Street Fighter 4 for the first time, their cup is empty. So they're going to be able to soak in all the game mechanics, everything that's necessary in that particular game, because it was such a drastic change from traditional Street Fighter. And so when their cup is empty, they have more room. They're willing to learn. Justin came into Street Fighter 4 still willing to learn. You know what I mean? He didn't just say like, oh, I have classic Street Fighter skills. I'm going to just try to use those. When he said, you know what? I understand that this is a different game. I'm gonna adjust with the times. I'm gonna try to implement the new mechanics that they put into this game, and I'm gonna try to add that on with the knowledge that I already have. And I think that's what a lot of older Street Fighter players struggle with coming into Street Fighter 4 because they didn't know how to let a little bit of water out of their cup. You know what I mean?
Right. One way I could translate that when you put it is the respect. Players are not gonna respect you. You have to condition someone to respect you.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Street Fighter 5 now. We're up to talking 4. We're gonna keep it up for
Damn, that was real informative. That was real.
Yeah.
That was real informative, bro. Damn, that's like you telling me a pass or some shit. I don't know. That's it crazy. Go ahead.
So your players would respect you. So I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna keep jumping at me. You're gonna what did it describe you?
Like a Morris.
Shout out to Dragon Guy.
Like a Morris. 100%. Had to beat it out of him though.
Oh yeah.
But it happened.
Oh yeah, he could not be conditioned. He could not be trained. Oh my gosh. And you know what?
Jeron, what you gonna say?
No, baby. Oh, that was it. But how it is 2 out of 3. So it's a nightmare sometimes.
Oh,
you find certain players. when they're not, respecting or anything.
I mean, we spoke about it on the show before. Street Fighter 5 in the Cali, Cammy. Want to talk about 2 out of 3s? Yeah,
that girl was moving, boy. Woo! She was moving
with the no footsie in the Cali though.
Facts.
It's all right though, it's love. You know what I'm saying? But I can attest to that. Yes, it is difficult. Yes.
And the thing is too, I can really sympathize with how some older Street Fighter players felt. My first competitive game that I was Marvel 2. So when Marvel 3 first came out, it was different. I mean, it was different.
It was different to the point where you couldn't even really replicate what you was doing in Marvel 2 into that game.
No,
it was that different.
Those Marvel 2 skills did not translate over to Marvel 3 at all. And when I'm back in the Marvel 2 days, like classic Street Fighter players, I'm talking about Street Fighter 2 Champ Edition players, they would look at Marvel 2 as like so like bullshit, cheesy. They like, get out of here, go over there, go play a freaking Sentinel. Like, you want to fly around the damn screen all day? Got no footsies. Like we were frowned upon. You know what I mean? We were frowned upon.
He's like, go over there, go play a Sentinel. That was Flash G, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. He would say that to Rasan. He was like, Rasan, you freaking suck. Because Rasan would try to play Third Strike with him. Rasan would go over there, get cooked, and then Flash wasn't having it. Like, it was just hostile.
Shout out to Flash Gordon, man.
Oh, you like, go over there, go play a freaking Sentinel. Get out, you freaking suck. You know what I mean? You want to fly around. There's no fight mode here. Like, shit like that.
Oh, that's unfair.
So, like, you know what I mean? So sometimes, like, we were a little frowned upon for not having traditional Street Fighter skills being played in our game, because Marvel 2 is more about air footsies, like, but it's really advanced version of air footsies. Like, the meta's crazy, but I understand what a classic Street Fighter player would go through going from that to Street Fighter 4 for the first time with the whole focus attack and the whole ultra system, but people making comebacks. Because I know I got you.
One thing,
yeah, go
4 to 5 is more extreme.
No, I got you. But I'm just telling you from my experience. I'm saying
4 to 5 is more extreme than Marvel 2 and Marvel 3?
Listen.
We could debate that.
No, I mean,
he means from Street Fighter 4. Because you know what? Listen.
Oh, shit.
I'm telling you my first experience when Street Fighter 4 dropped. I'm talking about vanilla.
Yeah.
It was bitching about Sagat and DP and the Ultra.
No, Kuma Sagat.
Yeah, but people was bitching about DP and the Ultra, like, just like, wow.
Rufus.
It was like, oh, no, we don't got to talk about Rufus. But, people were just so salty, like, winning the whole match and then getting hit with Tiger Destruction, then their life bars obliterated.
Yeah.
So I felt that when I played Marvel 3. And listen, this is a story, and shout out to Long Island Joe. And listen, I'm not saying I was the best Marvel 3 player, whatever, but I played Joe in tournament. I was cooking this shit. I had all 3 my characters, and he came back level 3 X Factor Virgil all 3 games. Then Joe got up, he shook my hand and said, "Great game you guys play." And then walked away. And I was just like, I'm like, what the hell just happened? And I'm sitting here trying to figure out like what I could have did better, and to this day I can't tell you. Like I
remember that.
I just got hit by X Factor level 3 Virgil. So, and not saying like there was nothing I could have did, but like to lose like that is not a good feeling inside, especially coming from Marvel 2, where if I earn that situation in Marvel 2, that game is gonna be mine. Unless of course your IFCX 2007 Evolution. Shout out to Justin Wong, Cyclops comeback. But Yipes did still win that game. I ain't gonna just throw you under there.
It's all right, baby. It's a moment. You gotta give praise to the moment. It's all right.
But like right there, that's when I really felt like, wow, I see when classic Street Fighter players were telling me about why they don't like Marvel 2. And now it's hitting. Now I get it. You know what I mean? Now I understand. So I can definitely relate to that. But you transitioned over pretty well. Because, like I said, you're one of those people that were able to empty their cup and allow new information to come in. Because, like you said, you're very analytical. And I remember when you first announced your decree of playing Bison and being straight with the Bison Army in Street Fighter 4. You did have Chun-Li also, but like mainly Bison was your dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I realized I made some mistakes in the past. Like, if I had to take it back, I wouldn't think about that stuff. Like, I don't care about being the best Bison or, being, best of this character. I want to be consistent. I want to have success.
Right.
I want to be the strongest that I can be as a player.
Right.
The character's an aspect of me, a part of me, but I want to master myself and within myself.
Right. And like, in my opinion, I feel in Street Fighter specifically, I strongly, because it's a one-on-one game, there's not a lot of, well, the introduction to like different ultras and things of that nature definitely can change matchups, but I feel the game was meant for people to have more than one character. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a one character type of game because it's a lot of variety. So like A beats B, C beats A, things like that. So I'm wholeheartedly with you with the whole, like, you just want to be the best that you can be, and sometimes that means playing characters that you wouldn't normally play or take you out of your normal element of a character. Playing different character archetypes, learning different matchups. You know what I mean?
Which is why I accepted my situation in Street Fighter V. I not doing great in Street Fighter V. I consider myself okay or pretty strong, but I don't have success because I only play one character. Mm-hmm. And I will, for about 1.5 years, 2 years, I've lost to Laura. I've just been losing to Laura. That matchup is 6.5 Laura in her advantage. So
against what character? Bison?
Yes. So when I go to Battle Circuit, I lose to Item every time.
Right.
And that's been happening for 2 years, and since
I
get it.
Different ages. So, but that's just me. That's my problem. That's what I gotta deal with. Yeah. I can't play since I can't play Chun-Li. Since I can't play any other characters, Street Fighter V, that's something I gotta deal with.
Exactly.
He said, yeah, Laura. Yeah, Laura.
You felt the pain, right?
No, because look, I know what it's like to play Bison, because remember, this is early on when I was being competitive, like hard with the game season 1, so I was still looking for characters to play. And I remember specifically, I was getting kind of draped up being Bison, bro. He get command thrown hard, son. He get kind of command thrown hard, you know what I mean? So I understand his pain. So when he said Laura, and then obviously I'm catching flashbacks from everything that I was seeing from season 2. I mean, come on, baby. I was there. I've seen a lot of growing pains, man. I've seen a lot of shit in players, and it's crazy because even though I've seen a lot of crazy shit, you could tell the people that came out strong out of that, because of course there'll be salt there, but nobody do nothing about that to fix that problem. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's subjective, I guess, in terms of how to approach the game and stuff like that, mentally wise. But I always say this. I've said it many times on stream. You use that salt to season your next win.
Bars.
That's bars. You like that?
I like
bring
that.
Bring it in. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I've said it before many times, but yes, use that salt to season your next win. And and you see the bunch. You feel me? I remember there was a year where just Knuckle Dude was getting smoked. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was getting consistent results, sure, but not the results that he wanted. All of a sudden, he got acquainted with the game. He emptied a little bit of that cup of water, added some new information, right? Look what he went to, all meek. I've never seen that man play a command throw character in his life. And it's not even to shit on or nothing, because he still plays his core gameplay, which is being aggressive. But, you know what I'm saying? He just got the necessary weapons to deal what you got to deal with. And just to piggyback on what I was just saying, how do you feel now Street Fighter V where the meta's at, right, that you need to prepare? Because one of my ways of looking at it is I feel like you need to have sharp weapons for certain situations. So like if I have a close combat guy that wants to be on my ass, I'm going to have the combat knife. The combat knife, you know what I'm saying, which is Nikali. But if I wanted that zone and that range and stuff like that, that's when I play Urian. You feel what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel you need to be prepared in Street Fighter V? Do you feel like character loyalty is the way to go, or do you feel like another character in the mix will help you overall? I think character loyalty means nothing. I think if you don't have, at least if you're not playing one of the elite top tier characters, you're gonna need that that backup for sure. So that in this case it would be a Kuma. If you're a Kuma specialist, you'll do well. You don't particularly need a secondary or maybe even Cammy. But those are the like really strong martial art characters. So the loyalty thing, and it's you could throw that out the window. Okay.
I like it. Okay. So now, we touched on. I asked you about what particular skill sets you needed to play those older games, right? And how they translate over. So now, we're at Street Fighter 5. All right. How much of those classic Street Fighter game skills and attributes do you feel translate over into Street Fighter 5?
If I told you the majority of it, I'd be lying. The truth is, very little of it carries over in Street Fighter 5. It's completely new meta. Completely. Yes, there are aspects. Like I mentioned earlier, there are aspects of all the older Street Fighter games in Street Fighter 5. However, the meta has changed drastically.
Right.
And the mentality of players has also changed.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So you have to be ready to adapt to that.
So Street Fighter 5 basically bridged the gap in history of older Street Fighter players' experience that's all built up inside of him. Like a new player could come into Street Fighter 5 and that's kind of not going to make too much of a difference.
Right. So to humble me, I know how good I am, but I always respect my opponents, and I don't put anything past my opponents. The ego part of me, I've played all these Street Fighters, and it's a shame that these people that are not as good as me are beating me. That's my ego.
Right.
But when I look past that, I get the bigger picture, and I say, well, this is just a whole new meta, Jeron. You just got to adapt. It's plain and simple.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. I can agree with that 100%. I mean, look, I've seen the game progress, and gosh darn it, you just hit all of that in the money because, yes, you have to adapt to the game. I mean, my biggest gripe with the game early on was the lag. That shit was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
The lag was crazy, bro. We fight underwater, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You remember how Jean-Claude Van Damme was freaking training in kickboxing in the water? That's how it felt like, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the characters. But, you know, they fixed it up. I think now it's like at 4 and change. 5, 4 and change. I don't even know. It feels better, though. I will say that. It feels better. But it could definitely use some work. But see, my gripe with the game is this. I actually like explosive rushdown. You know me. You know what I'm saying? I like that. The imbalance is that there's no great defensive options. For example, obviously, we used to have Invo DPs. They took it away. It's kind of like if you want to make a comparison. So obviously, they didn't want people to have that many options on wake up to deep to Dragon Punch reversal, stuff like that, right? Kind of like basketball with hand checking. They remove hand checking. Now you have more perimeter shooters. You know what I'm saying? They remove DPs. Now you have way more rush down. You know what I'm saying? People that just like are just gonna commit regardless. You know what I'm saying? It's kinda the same thing. The only gripe that I have with Street Fighter 5 is that they slowed down the V reversals. I don't know why they did that. Overall, across the board. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you could make a big change for Street Fighter 5, what would that be?
I will make faster V reversals. I will put Invo DPs back.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll put Invo DPs back. I'll give a platform more for the competitors and players that take the game seriously to have an opinion and then just to throw stuff out. I mean, we got it on Twitter, sure, but like, you know, like a platform to really talk about what could be fixed with the game.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's out there for sure. People can send their opinions. I think Capcom got something like that going on. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but something, just a platform for especially the top players, man, that because, you know, no BS, a lot of the games played right now is being shown by these top players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They repping it. They the ones who's selling the game. I mean, yeah, you can have all these characters in the engine or whatever, but you got the people playing it to show it to the world. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I always say, you know, even though at a point where I would be complacent, you know, at the game, say these things about the game, I greatly respect the players that go out and compete.
Absolutely.
That's, like, big time. Like, no matter what skill, or like, doesn't matter if it's low skill, the top players, they have great respect for me for going out there to play that game competitively. It's a rough one.
So now, Jeron, let me ask you this. And so what skill set do you think is needed to be good in Street Fighter 5? Be honest.
Skillfully, not much. You don't have to be very skillful. You just need to be able to execute. Like, well, the execution thing is not high. The execution plateau is not nice, but you don't just generally have a good foretell of the game. You know when to press the advantage, and know how to utilize V-reverse. I feel like the most important thing for Street Fighter 5 is knowing what to do in the defensive situations and knowing when to use your V-reversal. You're gonna obviously have to take throws. That's from Street Fighter 2. You gotta take those. So like in Street Fighter 2, Sonic Boom, you're stunned, jump roundhouse, crouch your strong, flash kick, that's 90%. You're one more throw, whatever, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's in Street Fighter 5. with the stun.
It's
just different. It's just translated different. It's shown differently. The stun thing, when you're high stun, people are at their most panicky. People are really nervous when their stun is high, and which is why they get the stun and then the round's over.
Right.
That's a Street Fighter 5.
Right.
But that's also from Street Fighter 2.
I think the strongest thing, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. The strongest thing about Street Fighter 5, hold that thought. I like what you were talking about. The strongest thing about Street Fighter 5 that I see that it's like very obvious is the situational awareness.
Yeah.
There's so much things that you gotta keep an eye on that you like, damn, do I just sit still and wait for the jump in? Man, this guy ain't jumping. What am I looking for now? The dash-ins? Can I react to the dash-ins?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's little things like that. That's why I feel like Punk is so strong, because he knows how to set up those situations the most out of a lot of people. You know what I mean? And that's this. A lot of people could do that too. Gachi Cone.
Because it's hard to look for everything.
Yeah. So there's people that know how to minimize that. And it be more in their favor. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they know how to box it in more to the point where they don't have to worry about too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that game, to be at your strongest, you got to know a lot about the situation awareness. I mean, that's any fighting game, but specifically Street Fighter 5.
Right.
I feel like that's one of the games. And then on top of that, that's why I feel like online play is important. Even though the online is shitty, I mean, we've heard it so many times. I've experienced it many times. You know what I'm saying? But that is an important place to actually learn the game. I feel like Street Fighter 5 will be in a better place right now if the online was amazing.
Okay.
I feel like that's just my opinion. So.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So how important is it to have a good V trigger? And if you don't have a good V trigger, what is your strategy if you don't have a good V trigger? Like what would you have to do to compete with the characters that do have a good V trigger? Where would you have to excel?
Focus on chip damage and great health.
Okay.
And having a strong throw game.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. Facts.
So something that I do notice from new games in general now is a part of being good in the newer games, and this is something that I actually learned from Yipes. When you're approaching a new game, and also shout out to Desmond Pinckney, he did mention this too. Because where we're at now with these fighting games, it's super duper important to learn the engine.
Yes.
Learn the engine. Don't focus on so much of your character. Learn the engine. Learn what the meta of the actual game is about. You know what I mean? Like, I learned that from Yipes because, like, you know, when I was playing Dragon Ball, Yipes was telling me, you know, like, he feels Goku Black is the best of the game. He said he see where the meta's going. Not having that 2L low, not having that mix what other characters do, that's gonna hold you back. You know what I mean? And he's absolutely right about that. Yeah, it's doable, but it's not part of the natural meta. So when you learn a game engine, and especially since we're in this age where patches are coming out, and from what I see, patches are not like minor changes. Like when they're patching things, it's a lot of times it's drastic. You know what I'm like? Like characters are getting changed. Like a character can go from being top tier to low mid with one patch. You know, like they're not like kind of like just shrinking them up a little. So if you have like a great understanding of the engine, like people like Sonic Fox, you know what I mean? If you have a great understanding of the engine, it'll be easier for you to transition into another character and basically just learn the next character. You know what I mean? And that is something that I've always seen Yipes do well. When he plays game, he learns the meta, he learns the engine first, and then he optimizes his characters. And if his characters do not fit the current meta or even his playstyle, what he wants to do, and you know, like he doesn't enjoy what he's doing, then he'll go to a character that does fit that. And I think that approach is an approach that everyone should take to playing with these new games. You know what I mean? Like, so learn the engine first, then learn your character, and then you'll be able to see if your character fits the meta of what it is. Because that way, if you get patched, if your characters get patched or nerfed, then you won't be so like, damn, like soul searching. Because if you play competitively, like you're a sponsored player, these are important things to think about. You can't be winning, then patch came, you can't win no more. You know what I mean? People might lose their sponsorship. You know what I mean? Like you're no longer placing high in tournaments like that. But if you want to be a consistent tournament player, you have to be able to transition into different characters, different archetypes, because you know the engine so well. You know what I mean? So with that being said, like, do you feel that in Street Fighter V you have a good understanding of the engine right now?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. I put a good amount of time in Street Fighter V, and I'm still playing today.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, still on. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. Well, that's good. Yipes.
What's up, bro? Talk to me, man. I'm over here.
So just walk us through with your process and like learning the meta and figuring out what you want to do, and you know what I mean, like how and into the characters that you've chosen.
So I see. So this stems from Marvel too. Obviously, we didn't have too much options in terms of characters due to Sentinel flying back and stuff like that. So that I already acknowledged that Sentinel runs the game, right? I acknowledged it right there. I was like, okay, bang. I can't play no Guile. I can't play no Charlie. My favorite characters, you know what I mean? Tron Bond. You know what I'm saying? I had some cool characters, man. You know what I mean? But I acknowledged that Sentinel was a key factor of Marvel 2's meta. So that's why I went to the air dashes. Now, obviously, I used to play Team Scrub before. I used to play Cable Sin Commando and Mad Cable Tron. Those were my two teams, right? Now, when I went to Chinatown Fair the first time and I seen everybody play Sentinel, I'm like, damn, I ain't know motherfuckers go whiz around the screen like that. And I'm like, that changes everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, you know what I mean?
That's the water.
I got you. That changes everything. So what I did was I played, I was always a fan of Magneto Storm. Psylocke was just a bonus. You know what I mean? She looked fire and she's hot. So I was like, you know what? Put on the team, fire. Let's get it going. I mean, and it makes my team look nice. You know what I'm saying? And there was other people playing MSP too, but knowing me, I always wanted to be different, right? With it. But anyway, one thing I did do was just go in the game and figure out how I could revolve my gameplay around pinning Sentinel down and just getting offense off. And then obviously there was other characters before I even had to fight Sentinel. You know what I'm saying? Like Storm, the Storm sent DAC. So because I acknowledged if I get hit with one hit from Storm, knowing that I'm gonna die, I made sure that everything was airtight. So what I did there was just practice execution all day, just so I could have the smallest window of error as possible, just when I could deal with these characters at a high level.
Right. Can I ask you a question about that? How did you deal with Spiral? Because not having really heavy Spiral experience.
Well, I never So the story is, so my first Evo, I got second, whatever. I lost to Dawgs. Shout out to Dawgs, one of the greats. He beat me with Spiral. Now, at that time, I actually didn't have an excuse of why I lost. It was just more so, I mean, I can't use this as excuse. I just really wasn't familiar with the character. But I was winning, so I felt like I was adapting. I just didn't adapt fast enough, you know what I mean? And obviously, there's little intricate things there, like guard canceling and stuff like that I didn't apply. So that's my fault for not having that knowledge, you know what I'm saying? I mean, knowledge was a little scarce back then. Yeah. It's not like you could just go on a YouTube right now and find out answers. Like you had to really know
them videos.
Yeah, I had nobody, like literally I had no information. You know what I'm saying?
And when you came in the meta, Spiral wasn't being played anymore. So it's not like you're going to see if I'm running into Spiral.
Yeah, like there was literally none. And I'm not taking this away from Duck or nothing. That guy beat me fair and square. And I mean, I'm not even taking it away. But I felt like I should have done better in knowing what I was dealing up against. And mind you, I'm a kid at the time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was just playing for fun. Like I literally won and I was just like, great. You know what I mean? I got second, woo-woo. But then, I kind of noticed the seriousness of a tournament when I came back to New York when everybody was disappointed in me that I actually lost. Because it was an East and West thing, very heavy. So because I gave it up to the West, a lot of people in the East was actually disappointed. So that's when I really knew how passionate it was, So, but yeah, when I did in terms of training mode, in terms of the meta, I always keep an eye on how the game is played right then and there. Yeah. So like I said, CF, I went in, I saw the Storm Sense, the cables, you know what I'm saying, the combinations of teams, and I'm like, okay. So this is how I have to approach the game in order to compete with this game. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. A lot of training mode and a lot of common sense too.
So what about the current state of Street Fighter V right now? This is for you, Yipes. The current state of Street Fighter V right now. What is the meta and what should people be looking to practice to be able to compete in the game?
Okay, let's see. I can't even count them down. I'm gonna just say them from the top of my head. You know what I'm saying? Characters with fast walk speed, number one. Okay. A character with an explosive button that can crush counter, because crush counters is the engine to build the V gauge. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Good defensive awareness, knowing when to walk away from strings and when not to. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because there's situations where people just sit there and get mauled all day and they're not even realizing that they're getting their great health chip. Yeah. So there's something called fuzzy guarding. You can actually walk back, block down, and then walk back to get away from situations. And that's why, again, I add to the walk speed, because characters with great walk speed could avoid those situations more so than others. You know what I'm saying? For example, Bison, he gets if you stick on them, you sticking on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain characters you just can't stick around. So that's one.
Okay.
Fast walk speed. Good characters that get a good situation off of a throw in the corner.
Okay.
Good anti-airs. Great V-trigger, of course. And anybody that could put you in a constant mix. So characters like Birdie. Now with the V-trigger too. I don't know if you noticed, but he got a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he got some goodies now. He got some goodies now. So little stuff like that, you know what I mean? Good range, because for some reason this game, just so they could promote close combat, they kind of made a lot of limbs stubby. So they just wanted to promote more interactions offensively, you know what I'm saying? Which I get.
You can have a big advantage. What's your opinion about the V, like baiting the V reversal or punishing opponent's V reversal?
Yeah,
That's
right.
big.
Characters like that too. That's why Kuma's so strong. If you V reversal, he could parry it and you could lose, potentially die after that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like explosive characters is the way, with good walk speed and a little bit of priority system on your side. Characters that could give you that, not only that priority system, but that luck.
Okay.
You know? Because with punishing, it's there, but it's just situations where your health is just going to fly off the yin yang. Like, you're gonna lose a lot of quarters. You know how when you get hit with a crush counter, you hear the click, 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 click. You lose a lot of quarters, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion, for sure.
Okay. Jeron, so what's your current tier list in Street Fighter V?
Season 3.
Recently,
Season 3, yes.
Season 3 was current.
This is 3.5, right? It's 3.5. No, season 4.
This is 4, yeah.
4, I'm sorry.
So,
wow, I'm bugging. It is 4.
Ibuki, Cammy, Birdie, Guile, and Bison.
Rashid?
Urian, Rashid. Zangief.
Okay.
Nikali.
Okay.
Colleen.
Okay. So what'd you name, about 10?
So these are so you feel like, in your opinion, just to add to that, that's like the chess of characters you really want to look at when you try to come in against Street Fighter 5.
Yes, those are characters, right?
Okay. Say no more. All right, so are we done with the Street Fighter 5 segment? Or we like the ins and outs of just talking about games from back then to now?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jeron, you my bro, love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've seen you play games, right? Like you are a gamer. Like, if there's one thing I know about Jeron, you are a gamer. You play games. You play games that I never even heard of. What the hell did you just tell me when you came in earlier? That I played Granny?
Granny is a horror game.
A horror game that is called Granny.
I haven't played it, but I don't know if you have seen it.
So I'm gonna ask you this. It's 2 questions I'm gonna ask you. Name your 5 favorite games of all time.
That's
Name your 5.
Off the top of my head.
Off the top,
Shimigami Nocturne.
Okay, Nocturne, fire. You said Shimigami Nocturne?
Yeah.
Fire, because I seen you play that, like, so many scenarios I seen you play that. Like, you got, like, different character squads.
Yeah.
I see you. Okay, so that's number 1.
Currently, the game I play currently, which is Dead by Daylight.
Well, no order. Okay, and that's for the PS4, right?
PS4 and PC, yeah.
Dead by Daylight. I heard a lot of different things about that. Okay. Favorite of all time?
It's one of, like, that I'm playing currently. Because actually, when I play, besides Street Fighter, I play Dead by Daylight.
So, but this is all time, though.
Of all time, it would be top. You said 5?
Yeah. I mean, we can open it up. You want 8?
Yeah, you could put it there. 6. I'll put like 6 or 7. Okay.
Okay.
So
Got
it would be
it.
Hyper Alpha.
Okay.
CBS 1.
Okay. That's 3 you named just now, right? That's 3. No, 4. That's 4. You said 4.
Final Fantasy 3.
Okay, classic.
Oh yeah, Guardian Heroes.
Okay, 6. All right, I like that. Solid to the point. All right,
What's yours?
it's too hard, man.
Come on, baby.
All right, so just shoot them. Just shoot them in the air.
Just shoot.
Oh man. WWF No Mercy.
Okay.
Look at my man. He said, "Yeah, just like my man." Yeah, WWF No Mercy. For the Nintendo 64. I'm gonna have to say Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Okay.
Fuck it, we throw it in the Shenmue. 1 and 2. I ain't like how Shenmue 2 ended. Look at my man Statz. Yeah, okay. That's 3 I name, right? Just off a soundtrack alone, It was difficult at first, the game, but just off a soundtrack alone keeps me bringing me back. And I always find something new in the game, which is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 6, Unreal Tournament 99.
That's what's up.
And there you go.
When I met you, that's what you was playing.
That's what I was playing.
Those are my 6 right with there. The mouse.
Yeah, look, he know what's up. Yeah, I used to make beats. He used to make beats while I was shooting people.
There. I was in the crib.
Yeah, in the crib, yeah.
I was Slim Jeff.
Oh, yeah, word.
You have to been a fan of Quake, have you not? Quake?
Yes. But it wasn't one of my favorites, but it definitely introduced me to that. Okay, what about yours?
All right, so of course, Mike Tyson's Punch Out is my number 1. Now the rest are in no order. I love Streets of Rage 2.
Okay.
I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game for the one for NES.
Are we talking about with the side joysticks and all that?
Yeah, the one that was actually in the arcade.
Yeah. Okay, 3. Okay.
Okay.
3 more.
Yeah. No, I had them. I just can't remember now. I said, MVC 2, of course. I said Turtles. I said Punch Out. Like I'm thinking like what I could just rock in the crib and I'm just lit. 2 more. That's those 4 right there. That's my Streets of Rage, Punch Out, Turtles, Marvel 2.
No sports games? Oh, NBA Jam?
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
My bad.
I was waiting for that. NBA Jam, baby.
Jam.
Come on.
TE.
Yeah, that's the best one.
So, NBA Jam TE and and Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh, I like that.
That's
flavor.
Yeah. Diddy Kong Racing.
So I got a quick question for you. If there's a game that you did not like, a game you absolutely despised, but you lost a set, right? In the conditions where if you lost a set, you had to play this game for 2 hours, what would it be? So, for me, there's this game called Wall Street Kid for Nintendo. Torture. Real bad.
Torture?
Yeah.
I think mine would be, damn. Like, and I get punished?
Yeah.
Superman 64. Oh, yeah, I know. The Rings.
He says
Superman 64. Terrible. God damn, that game was ass.
Damn.
Wow.
That's tough. I'm trying to think of a game that I despised.
Oh, for getting punished 2 hours straight? Damn. Yeah, Superman 64. I'll be mad as hell, bro. I think I'll headbutt the 64 after I'm done.
Oh my gosh. A game that I despise? I don't know. I don't recall playing the game and then saying like I don't want to play this game. Like it's not fun no more.
We can't even go way back like E.T.
I know. I'm trying. Let me think.
Yo, while you think about it, you know what's the most difficult game, bro? I played? Yo, Solomon's Key, son. That game is OD tough. You remember that? Justin was playing that. Solomon's Key. You don't remember that?
Yeah, no, I remember.
Oh, you thinking about my bad.
Damn, I'm trying to think of a game that I hate.
Mo 3?
You got me. 100%. 100%.
Damn, I know my road dog too well, man.
I'm like, yo, if you told me I had to play Marvel 3 for 2 hours, I'm salty. Yo, don't get me started. I don't want to talk.
It's go. No. That's it. It's bang bang.
Oh my
bang. You don't see me talking about Superman 64. There's no need. There's no need. If you guys want to know how trash it is, just go to YouTube and you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, shout out to Marvel 3 Plus. If that's your game, you like it, more power.
It's no this. Yeah. All right, so moving forward, Jeron. And you know, obviously, you the star of the show. You the guest. You the homie, the bro. You know what I'm saying? I hold you in high regards when it comes to a lot of old school stuff. My question to you is this, and we talk about it all the time, Jeron. And then I got one more afterwards, and I know you're gonna love it. But let me get this out the way. Top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time.
Undertaker, Bret Hart.
Ooh, shooting on Undertaker, Bret Hart. Okay.
Owen Hart.
Okay.
British Bulldog.
Hart Foundation.
Let him hear you.
One more time. Run it through. You said Undertaker, Bret Hart.
Owen Hart.
Okay.
British Bulldog.
Okay.
Yokozuna.
Wow.
My man said Yokozuna.
Yo, big butt flux.
Yokozuna was good. Yeah.
That song is fire though. So you like
Mr.
Undertaker?
Footsies
You like
with the
Undertaker
fucking-
with yes.
Yes. Classic.
You like that? You like that, Taker?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Dead man.
Yes. Oh my Undertaker. That one.
Yo, rest in peace,
Alright.
Paul Bearer,
All right, cool.
man.
All right. My 5. Man, this is hard. All right, so this is a little different with me because I actually love the technical aspect of wrestling.
I know who your first is.
Who is it?
RVD.
Yes. He's one of my favorites. RVD's he's not number 1. There's no order. There's no order. He was actually a technical wrestler, but you know they nerfed him, so it's okay. So RVD, and what's crazy is he actually caught my attention with the frog splash and the fact that he looked like Van Damme. So that's RVD. Eddie Guerrero. Let's go. We talking straight talent. Jericho. That's 3. I'm gonna give this man a little credit because his wrestling was pretty good. And his mic skills was fire. The Rock. Number 5. Dean Malenko. Nah, those are the. And he had the stiff ass intro. He just walked in like this, no personality.
Smooth flat, right?
But he knew how to freaking wrestle.
No, he was nice. He was nice.
Now those are my top 5 technical. We could talk about this all day. You know what I'm saying? But I guess I'll bring this up for next one. Or we should just chop it up right now. I could wait.
Okay.
I could wait. So those are my top 5 favorite wrestlers.
All right.
That wrestlers that are like a wrestle.
For me, it was Hulk Hogan. I came up I was a Hulkamaniac. He was like my hero. Hulk Hogan, not Terry. Fuck Terry. Hulk Hogan? Yeah, I'm with him. People know why. Hulk Hogan, Sting.
Okay.
Black and white Sting.
Damn, he's like my number 6. God damn it. See, it's too many guys like wrestlers.
I know.
That's my man. I'll mess with Sting.
Goldberg.
Okay.
I liked a lot of faces. Goldberg. My number 4. It was at an Undertaker or Bret Hart. It was tough for me. And my number 5 was Austin. Stone Cold, out of my favorites.
Undertaker's a great wrestler too. See what I'm saying? It's too hard to pick. You know what I mean? I literally went in my dome talking about talented wrestlers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could have said freaking Psychosis. He was a talented wrestler. You know what I mean?
He was.
You feel it? The Montreal Screwjob. Look at this guy. Yeah.
Screwed Bret.
So off topic, real quick.
Yeah, no, talk to.
2 movies that you like, but that you refuse to watch under any circumstances. You refuse to watch.
2 movies so I would refuse to watch.
It would be The Legend of Chun-Li and Ghostbusters 3. I refuse to watch those movies.
Ghostbusters 3 was kind of whack. The Legend of Chun-Li was kind of boo. It was. It really was. Wow. Okay. Those are 2 that you'll never watch?
I will never watch them, no. I love Ghostbusters, so I refuse to watch the 2016. I refuse to watch that. And I love Chun-Li, so
I know. It makes sense. Okay. All right.
I can't.
All right. Man, this is... Wow, hold on. Okay.
2 movies, you said?
All right. Okay, number 1. The live action Dragon Ball movie.
Oh my God, you took my number 1. That was my number 1. Yeah.
Yo, bro.
Hands down.
Bro.
I refuse.
Keep it animated.
I refuse.
Keep it. Look at that. Ready to chop their heads off.
Son.
Number 1. Number 2.
That shit's horrible.
Number 2. I wouldn't even play around and watch it again. Like if they would put me in a torture chamber and they kept my eyelids open and I was handcuffed, I think I would tell them to off me, man. Be like, yo, please. I'll be like, please. Like,
yeah,
dead ass.
And I can even enjoy a bad movie, but I'm
so you said 2, right? You said 2? Damn. What was a bad remake?
Is Super Mario 3 up? Is Super Mario up there?
I mean, I could laugh about it.
Right.
I could go back.
Right.
That movie
you know what?
trash.
It was trash.
That movie was trash.
I could laugh about it though. Like that could be a game like, yo, you want to watch this shit, man? Yeah, I could laugh about it. So now I would have put that movie was kind of trash.
I can enjoy the Daredevil movie. It wasn't a good movie, but I can enjoy it. With Ben Affleck and freaking...
Damn, can I... The first Hulk count?
Oh, that shit was all... Oh.
First Hulk. There you go. Real
with
shit.
Eric Bana.
Okay.
Real shit. I was just gonna say Dragon Ball movie twice. But I'll take the Hulk movie, yeah. The first Hulk movie and the first Dragon Ball live action. Terrible. Terrible. Like, I don't even know what was the excuse. Like, I know they had the money. Maybe not?
I don't know.
All right, what about you, bro?
Dragon Ball, that's hands down.
Okay, no.
Hands down. I want to say... Nah, I can even sit through that. I was going to say Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but I could sit through that.
But you could go back to like, yo,
Yeah,
you go back to and appreciate it somewhat.
I could sit through that.
Not appreciate it, laugh at it. Appreciate it? Laugh at it.
I can sit through it.
Okay. I'll take that.
Damn. What movie do I see on? And I'd be like, hell no. like just hell no, I'm not watching this shit.
Damn, that's
Hell no.
I had to dig deep.
Damn, Jeron, that was
a good ass question. Damn, what type of torturous shit you be thinking of, bro?
Yo.
That's kind of morbid, bro. No, it's cool. It's cool. It was a little morbid. I hear you. I like how he said Ghostbusters 3 though.
You damn sure did.
I like the reasons behind it though.
All right. For me, for me, I can't stand Iron Man 3. I can't stand it.
Okay.
I can't stand it. I hate what they did with the Mandarin in that movie.
Okay.
The Mandarin's a godlike villain. They fucked him up. Made him comical. My man Tony not in the suit. That movie's trash. Trash.
No future in this game. No future in this game.
I won't even sit through that movie again. If that movie's on, done.
Okay. I like that. All right. So here we go. The final one. Again, Jeron, you one of my OGs, man. You know, coming up, I looked up to your gameplay. You know what I'm saying? When I wanted to sharpen up the Street Fighter fundamentals, I holler at you. When we talk about ocean and period, you know, I holler at you. And it's funny, you holler at me more than anything because he be the one asking the questions most of the time. So it's kind of cool that I'm asking this question to you. All right. Should I even go with 5? All right, we could go 5 as a bonus, but we're going to go top 3.
Top 3, damn, okay.
Favorite cartoons of all time?
Hold on. It has to be animated?
Anything
okay, got
that's
you.
cartoon.
Say no more.
I'm talking about Toonami, all that shit, Boomerang, all that shit. All that.
I mean, like live action counts? Like
Cartoon?
Power Rangers?
No, that's TV shows.
Okay, so Power Rangers don't count.
No.
Okay,
That joint is fire.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't kind of count it, right? It's not really cartoon.
Let's not count it. Let's not. Like Power Rangers, VR Trooper, Superhuman Samurai, Cyber Squad. No, let's not count them. Beetleborgs.
That's a kids' TV show.
Yeah, it is a kids' TV show. So let's stick with cartoons.
Okay, so we'll leave that for another. All right. So cartoons. All right, Jeron.
Thundercats, He-Man, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 90s.
That man said no brainers.
Who's your favorite turtle?
Donatello.
Why?
Because he saved the turtles multiple times, which the biggest one was included when they stopped the Technodrome from coming to Earth.
Okay.
Who's your favorite turtle?
I like Donnie.
Okay.
I like Donnie.
Okay.
I like Donatello.
Mine is Leonardo. I like leaders. I like swords, and I like the color blue.
I used to like no BS. It was Michelangelo, but they just wasn't giving him too much burn, man. After a while, it was just the guy who was joking on, man.
I like Michelangelo's potential's untapped. Don't you feel?
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely. That's why I was mad. They blessed him for real.
Untapped potential.
Yeah. I like Mikey if he took things a little more serious, right? Stop freaking paying attention to April.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. So that's okay.
What's your top 3?
All right. I like Batman animated series.
Yo, this dude got my top 1 every time.
I mean, that's for me to roll those, right, baby? Yeah, all right. Batman animated series.
Godlike.
I have to say Dragon Ball Z. And third, anything Looney Tunes.
Okay.
Anything Looney Tunes. I'm talking about Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, the Red Monster.
No. You can't have Dragon Ball Z. No anime. Cartoon. American made.
Okay. I like that.
Okay.
Y'all, you're a piece of shit, because now I really got to think about it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, Batman animated series, Looney Tunes. Damn, this is rough, bro. I was good with that. That don't count as a cartoon.
Actually, Batman animation is not my top one. Not my first.
No, I'm not counting them. I'm not putting them in order.
No, put them in order.
Damn, bro. Then I got to think about it a little. All right, so before I give you the third one, go ahead. I got to think about it.
My first, a lot of people might not know this about me. My very number one favorite cartoon of all time is Tom and Jerry. My favorite episode is the Cat Concerto when my man Tom was playing piano and Jerry was trying to sleep on the keys. I go and set another song over it. That's my shit though.
Yo, I think I might have to be a biter on that one. Pause. I think Tom and Jerry, to close it out
Tom
for me.
And Jerry's
I think it's Tom
shit.
and Jerry, yes. And the reason why that reminisced with me is because literally I remember when I was a kid with the bobo in my mouth and shit, Pampers on. And that's what I was watching all fucking day, bro. So definitely, Tom and Jerry. Yeah, that goes on my top 3.
I got Tom and Jerry, Batman the Animated Series, and Thundercats.
I like Tom too. You know why? Because he's the epitome of without struggle there is no progress. But he never progressed though. But he was bad. He was bagging some baddies though. What's up?
You like Tom. So who don't you like from a cartoon character? 2 characters you don't like. So I'll start. I don't like Tweety Bird, and I don't like Jerry.
You said you don't like Tweety Bird and you don't like Jerry.
He's a jerk.
What?
Wait. Jerry's a jerk. You said
You're doing that to Tom, man. Like, come on. Jerry's a jerk. Man.
I mean, wait.
Tweety Bird, like, all right.
I mean, look. Real shit. All right. If we're gonna go, all right, but let's touch on that real quick. You said Tweety Bird and Jerry, right?
Yeah.
All right. You can't blame Jerry for being a dick like that to him, dog.
Why not?
Bro, he was trying to get ate up. Sylvester was trying to eat them. Not Sylvester, Tom. I'm bugging. I was thinking about Tweety for a second.
Sometimes he was instigating. Sometimes Tom wouldn't do anything. And Jerry would instigate.
It's true. But I mean, with all that pent up beef, you know something's gonna add up, dog. If you've been chasing me for years like that.
Why you?
Bro, I would wake up one day and be like, yo, I can't believe this guy was looking at me like that, bro. Like I'm delicious. Like I'm a delicacy for real. Of course I'm gonna pop out the hole and I'm gonna pop off. Hell yeah. Who would? Hell yeah.
Shouldn't he know that though? He's a cat. Like, why are you coming out in the open?
Tweety's a jerk. Tweety's a jerk.
He is.
100%.
Hold on, wait. Well, Tweety's a jerk. My man Sylvester was hunting him though.
But Tweety was like
Fluffer and Fuckatash.
Tweety was teasing though.
Yeah, Tweety was.
Like he would give it to a friend and all of a sudden just slip up.
Mean, my man
That's a jerk.
Rocking on his swing, minding his business. Sylvester trying to eat him though.
Bro, if
Jerry's a jerk.
Listen, if Tom was listen, Jeron.
I just like Tweety for different reasons.
Jeron, if Tom was chasing me for that long, bro, you don't think I'm gonna wake up in the morning with a chip on my shoulder? Let's be real with you. Come on, man, think about it for a second. That means you really like Tom for real. I ain't like when my man Tom's tail was getting chopped off. That was a little too far, but that was his fault though. He always set himself up.
The one over Jerry, I have to put is Roadrunner. I can't stand a Roadrunner.
Yo, so everybody's that's a runner?
Yeah.
No, the Roadrunner's bullshit. He defies.
He's fast.
Reality. No.
Roadrunner's bullshit.
You know he's not
broken.
He goes against the reality, right? So Wile E. Coyote is intelligent. He's coming up on these inventions, and he cannot catch these things because it defies all things that are part of reality.
I don't know about that.
Roadrunner's bullshit.
No, I know he's bullshit, but
yeah, that's why I don't like.
I mean, Coyote was intelligent, but I mean, you don't think he should have been intelligent enough to know that he wasn't gonna catch the bird?
But he's defying what?
I mean, he was doing some shit. But he wasn't catching that bird.
That bird was. I didn't like that. It was perfectly planned by Wile E, and he still can't catch it. The bird is like doing things that are not natural.
It's cartoons, baby. Acme. That's why they made all those products to try to bag his ass. That's real shit.
Hold on.
Acme.
Wait. So, all right, you said Roadrunner's bullshit.
Yeah.
Do you feel Roadrunner's more bullshit than Speedy Gonzalez?
Oh, he's bullshit.
Speedy has swag though. He has swag.
Yeah, I know. I fuck with Speedy.
My man was dressed up nice. The hat never came off his head. But the hat never came off his head though.
Yo. They was zooming.
Zooming, dust, everything. Hat never came off his head. That's talent. That's talent.
He said he was bullshit.
Damn, man, you know what? I got to know you a lot better just off the cartoons alone.
My man salty watching Wile E. Coyote.
So you mean to tell me every time you watch the Tom and Jerry show, you was tight?
When I used to watch it when I was young.
So did you get that anxiety? Like, oh my God, get the mouse already. Like, get him.
Yeah, him like Yoshi from Super Mario World. Like, I did not like that at all.
What?
It made me angry. Oh, nah.
You don't like Yoshi from Super? Are you serious?
No.
Bro, I thought that was cool, bro. First off, he be like, wango. First off, he literally put the. First off, hold on. Let me. Hold up. He's not here to defend himself. Let me talk for him. First off, he literally put the people on his back. Literally. He was getting chucked in the lava. He ain't saying nothing because he was gonna get back. He was gonna come back to life.
He did.
He was down for the cause.
Why he ran away though when you jump off him? Like
I mean, bro, he's not used to being alone.
Did you see him in the cartoons though?
Oh,
Super Mario World? That's what made me dislike. That's what I don't like about it.
No, I don't recall seeing Yoshi in the cartoon. Damn, it's son of me with the the scrolls, the ancient scrolls.
Did you see him in the cartoon though? He said, "Did you see him?" I don't think you did.
Look. You gotta. I'm all about team play. He's a team player. Yoshi's a team player.
Yoshi is a team player. You know who used to get me super salty, and it was only on Fridays? Man, Princess Zelda. She stay fronting on Link every week. Yo, why she ain't just give him a kiss, bro? Like my man just wanted to. My man fighting Ganon. You know what I mean? He's saving this chick all the time. Yo, he couldn't just get one kiss? They having picnics, is getting this. Yo, she got me salty, man. I don't like girls that front like that, man. My man Link go above and beyond for her. He get nowhere.
Wait.
You know what I mean? She got me salty. Like, I'm sorry.
All right. So one last question before we close this out, okay? And it kind of, I guess, connect the dots when it comes to your favorite games. But you know what? You're only gonna get one. If you were stuck on an island, you had food, you had water, everything was cool, but the only thing you can have is just one video game. What's the one video game you could play for the rest of your life? It's very easy for me, Marvel 2.
Shin Megami, Nocturne.
So you could run that on repeat. Okay. How about you, Chris?
Punch out.
So you could be stuck forever.
Yeah. Me and Tyson are always gonna have wars. I've come to that realization. I just accepted that.
But I mean, I feel like if you have that much time to play the game for that long, you're gonna.
I have.
Yo, he do knock you the hell out though, bro. That shit is entertaining, man. Look it out there on YouTube. It's out there, man. Chris Matrix versus Mike Tyson. It's out there. I'm pretty sure. But any final words before we close out of here?
Just one thing.
It's a shout out, Jeron. Let the people know where they can follow you, man.
You just follow me EMP_Hero if you on Twitter. One thing I love about FGC fighting game community is just diversity. So many different people, so many different types of people. Again, that's loving, that's helping. That's one. That's true oneness, and we're all gonna stick together. That's true community. That's true love for me. I always loved that aspect of life. If I didn't play video games, I don't know what happened in everything, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad I came across the fighting game community because it's changed me. It's always for the better, and always for the best for everyone to come across for it.
Hey man, that's why we're here today, baby. Absolutely. Look at that. FGC got the No Frillz Podcast. You got this one guy here behind the freaking monitor that look like Ricky Ricardo. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's real diverse out here. The FGC brings a lot of us together. But you know what? Anything you got to say?
No, sir. It's been a pleasure, Jeron.
It's been a pleasure. Yo, give a round of applause for man Jeron and Dawgs Grayson, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
Absolutely.
Of course, we all about the good vibes and shit. But be on the lookout for the next couple of episodes. We will have a couple of more guests and some shenanigans. But with that being said, my name is IFC Yipes, of course. My road dog,
Chris Matrix.
Yes. And we signing off. Peace and love. Have a good one.